Now we're going to finish it up with the 400. Just try to take some of the humps out of this. Give it a final sand and you can probably get ready to spray it. Open the door, maybe you can see a little better. Put a little more light on the subject. Keep in mind, anything that you see, if you don't get it sanded out right, and you can feel it, you're going to see it through the paint, whether it's a wave or a ripple. It's going to be waving at you. So what we'll do after this is we'll give it a nice heavy coat of primer. Give it another wet sand. And get it ready for paint. Just using this rag here to keep my mess down, because the rails on the side of the roof, they're going to fill up with this stuff and dry. Then it's going to get all nasty and everything in there, and it could blow out when you paint it, especially if you were using a gun, spray gun. What's your most favorite part of the movie Hot Rod if you've seen it? Get on it, paint job. You ever use that line? I thought the craziest part of that movie was where they stole a Hemi out of an AMC Ambassador cop car. Wrong engine for that company. I think AMC's biggest engine was what, 401 or 403? All cleaned up and finished up from sanding with the 400 grit. Can't feel anything to the touch. It feels pretty good. I cleaned inside the gutters here with a screwdriver and a rag to get all the moisture and then of all the other sanding debris and other dirt that might be in there, because if you're using a paint gun and you spray in here, it's going to throw all that garbage up into your paint. So you want to make sure that's dry, especially if you're going to do it the same day, which I'm not, but you want to make sure all your gutters are cleaned out well. So you can see here there's a scratch in the window that had gone up and put a gouge in the paint there. But for what we're trying to accomplish here, for $100 plus for paint, sanding paper, my labor, of course that's free. To wrap this, I measured it, it's roughly 40 by 48 inches. One place told me $400 to $450, and another place told me about $600 to $650 to wrap it. And I'm going to be able to paint this for about $100. So when we go to paint this, first we're going to prime it. What I'm going to do is I'll first prime all the dark spots. Try to prime those with a fairly heavy coat, but not real crazy, because this is down to the fiberglass. This is fiberglass here, so I want to get that covered first so it doesn't show through, and then we'll give it a couple good other heavy coats of primer. We'll scuff it. We'll wet sand scuff it. All right, everybody, welcome back. It's the next day, and then different shirt. Put some red on it. Obvious, but we're gonna see about if the top is ready to tape and get ready for primer. So everything is pretty much not able to be felt to the touch. You can see in here there's some really bad taping from when they painted it yellow. We'll be able to go back and scrape that away later. Maybe I'll do it before I tape it, but I'm not quite sure yet. But we're gonna leave this chrome trim on here because I never took it off before. Corvettes are kind of out of my normal thing of working, but even though they're not too tough, I just think with what this car is and what we're looking to achieve here, this is just an easy, quick paint job just to show the new auto enthusiast how easy it is to paint a panel that doesn't need body work. It's fairly straight and just something you can paint in your garage without a compressor. Gonna take my tape and try to get it under that piece of trim as best I can and fold it over the top. Sometimes longer isn't always better. So I got it started here, and that helps at least get a fit for it. And then I'm going to get something. Something as simple as a business card or just something thin. You don't really want to use anything that's going to scratch it, to help shove that under there. It's soft, and you don't really want to use a razor blade or anything like that. Just run that underneath there and help seal that up. And then as it's holding on there, you can bend it over and try to get the rest of your tape to pop back out, back in there. Once you spray it, you're going to know where you missed, so you want to make sure it's right. And if it's wrong, it's easier to take it off and retape it and then have to fix it, because you definitely don't want yellow paint popping through or red. dirt there. Sometimes it's easier to use a smaller piece of tape rather than using a real long one, and just do a small section at a time, especially where there's curves and different angles. I did go grab a brush like this. Sometimes you can use it to brush underneath when you don't have an air compressor like I don't have right now. You can brush underneath some of the trim just to make sure you got all the little pieces of dust and debris out of it. So this little corner here had some trapped in it, and I didn't want to really wash it. I didn't really want to wash it and get it wet. You risk of getting anything wet there. I do planning on probably masking after the masking is done, covering it with plastic. Newspaper can always be used, but they say newspaper is porous. It has a lot of dust on it, fine dust particles as well, so when you hit it with your gun or your can or whatever you're spraying it with, it can stir up that dust, which eventually lands in your paint. This end is really fighting me here. So there's a closer look. That's what we're going to do with our taping here. Then we'll attach the plastic to the outside. We'll tape it to here, cover everything up that we don't want covered in any kind of paint. So then I'm going to come along here. Probably just stop the video after this because you guys get the idea. It is time consuming and no use wasting your time or mine with filming. But we'll just tape all this up along with the back rail here. Alright, I think most of our taping's done. I did get a razor blade and did cut some corners out that needed it. So what we're going to do next is get our plastic out and plastic everything from the windshield and the drip rails down. I'm going to be using this. Why? Because it's what I have. Again, I'm like 90% of the 80% of the people out there. Limited budget. Don't need to spend a lot of money if you don't have to. It's not a high dollar build here. It's going with the 20-footer aspect of the car. So it's definitely going to be better than the paint job that was on it. Just a different color, but it will be better. I'm sure of that. So we'll see you back here after we get it plasticed up. Now we're going to finish it up with the 400. Just try to take some of the humps out of this. Give it a final sand and can probably get ready to spray it. Open the door, maybe you can see a little better. Put a little more light on the subject. Keep in mind, anything that you see, if you don't get it sanded out right, and you can feel it, you're going to see it through the paint, whether it's a wave or a ripple. It's going to be waving at you. So what we'll do after this is we'll give it a nice heavy coat of primer, give it another wet sand, and then get it ready for paint. Using this rag here to keep my mess down, because the rails on the side of the roof, they're going to fill up with this stuff and dry, and then it's going to get all nasty and everything in there, and it could blow out when you paint it, especially if you were using a gun, spray gun. What's your most favorite part of the movie Hot Rod if you've seen it? Get on it, paint job. You ever use that line? I thought the craziest part of that movie was where they stole a Hemi out of an AMC Ambassador cop car. Wrong engine for that company. I think AMC's biggest engine was what, 401 or 403.